Good evening and welcome to Zodiac News with me, Robert Kalua. Coming up in this bulletin, Kamuzu College of Nursing students stage violent protests demanding the immediate payment of their alleged unpaid allowances. Barely 3 months after being evicted from plying their businesses along the streets of the capital Lilongwe, vendors are slowly getting back to the streets. Zodiac Snap Survey reveals most people are not aware of the newly launched national switch, which allows use of a single ATM card across different banks. Indian sports analysts say the recent collapse of a stand underscores the need to renovate Kamuzu Stadium. Now the news in details. Kamuzu College of Nursing students on Wednesday staged violent protests demanding the immediate payment of their alleged unpaid allowances, while the students claim they have not been paid the monthly allowances since January this year. Meanwhile, authorities at the institution say they would only comment on the matter after meeting the students. We've got more in this report.
Trainee nurses out of class. The demonstrating Kamuzu College of Nursing students at some point turned violent. They are pushing authorities to pay their arrears for monthly allowances for the months of January and February. Some of the students told us they are sick and tired of lies by the administration on when they will start receiving their allowances in time. Government raised the monthly allowance from 40,000 kwacha to 50,000 kwacha, but the students claim since the increase, they have never received the money in time. Wednesday evening, school authorities and students' union representatives were locked up in a meeting to map the way forward.
Meanwhile, reports reaching Zodiac say authorities have closed the institution until further notice. We'll keep you updated. It's only about 3 months since government evicted vendors from plying businesses along the streets of capital Lilongwe, but our track around reveals the vendors are slowly getting back to the streets, and it appears the development doesn't bother authorities to act. Well, our Charles Wahara went on the streets of Lilongwe and found that the market was destroyed along the M1 road in Area 36 in December last year. Is actually mushrooming on this other side of the road.
It's now 8 months down the line since Area 36 market caught flames, and vendors who used to ply trade in the market are now slowly creeping along the M1 road. According to the vice chairperson of the vendors, Soflet Gafuafwa, the vendors will remain operating and plying their trade in this area. Gafuafwa pointed out that since the old market was burnt to ashes, authorities have given them blind and announced the decision to occupy the new area without seeking permission.
It's not possible for us to leave this place because there is no other solution they have provided. Authorities are not helping us. We are here because they don't want to assist us. If they have a remedy, that is okay. But as of now, we are here for some time. We have a lot of responsibilities, taking care of our families and orphans as mothers who are in big problems. They took us from this place to some area around the tanks, but it wasn't a good place. We will move out of this place unless authorities allocate a new market for us. Whatever happens, we will not give up.
But councillor for the area, which falls under Pwetegere Ward, Stella Kumula, says she has taken up the issue with Lilongwe City Assembly authorities who have promised to do something by allocating the vendors a new market site. She noted that the Area 22 site, which was allocated to the vendors, has no toilets, and this has forced Lilongwe City Assembly authorities to construct new toilet structures.
As Pwetegere Ward Councillor, I'm worried with this development because it's posing a threat to many residents around this area. Many times I've been meeting Lilongwe City Council authorities, but nothing works. It's only promises that they are working to see that these people have a new market. Sisters at the mission complain that they are disturbed by these people because sometimes they relieve themselves in plastics and throw the excrete inside the fence.
This is Charles Wahara reporting from Lilongwe.
A snap survey by Zodiac in Blantyre City has revealed that most people are not aware of the newly launched national switch, which allows account holders to use any auto teller cash machine, irrespective of their bank. 3 weeks after it was launched, most people interviewed by Zodiac indicate that they heard of the initiative in the media but are not aware that it is now working. Grace Combe reports.
A Zodiak visit to several auto teller machines in Blantyre City discovered that a lot of people are not aware of the newly introduced the national switch system, which enables them to access their cash at any bank ATM, respective of their banks.
Yes, I've heard it.
Have you tried it to use your ATM to any ATM card?
Currently, I didn't.
Why?
Yes. Just because, I'm a teacher, I come once, blue moon in here in town collecting money. So maybe next time I'll try it.
Yeah, of course, I know. I just heard of it. I've never tried. I've never given it a try.
Yet other people told Zodiac that they heard the news from the media, but they are not ready to.
The Norwegian government says it has decided to make Malawi its focus country in development out of the 12 countries it will be working with. Norwegian State Secretary Hans Blaska disclosed this in Lilongwe on Wednesday during his meeting with President Peter Mutharika. Blaska says his government will focus in areas of health, education, especially for girls, just to mention a few. Veronica Mwali has found this report.
Norwegian State Secretary Hans Blaska is in the country for a 3-day visit and met President Peter Mutharika on Wednesday afternoon. During the meeting, Blaska highlighted the commitment Norway has in working with Malawi in development activities. He said he hopes to also work with Malawi in areas of agriculture, human rights and food security.
We discussed the fact that the Norwegian government has proposed to our parliament to make Malawi what we call a focus country. That means it is a country that will be given particular attention in our development assistance programs. Malawi will then be one of only 12 countries around the world that we would like to have that special relationship with.
Let me welcome you, State Secretary.
President Peter Mutharika commended the Norwegian government for its efforts in development activities in the country, especially in areas of educating the girl child. Mutharika says Norway has over the years expressed high commitment in working with Malawi and has recently provided relief items for flood victims. For Zodiac News, this is Veronica Mwali.
This is Zodiac News. We've got more news after this. Welcome back. I am Robert Karua. The top stories tonight. Kamuzu College of Nursing students stage violent protests demanding the immediate payment of their alleged unpaid allowances. Barely 3 months after being evicted from plying their businesses along the streets of the capital, Lilongwe, vendors are slowly getting back to the street. Zodiac Snap survey reveals most people are not aware of the newly launched national switch, which allows use of a single ATM card across different banks. Indian sports analysts say the recent collapse of a stand underscores the need to renovate Kamuzu Stadium. Moving on with the news. Federation of Disability Organizations of Malawi, FEDOMA, says people with disabilities need to be incorporated into the developmental plans, including issues to do with disaster management and preparedness. FEDOMA Executive Director Action Amos said this on Wednesday in Lilongwe during a meeting with stakeholders. Amos explains.
This workshop, we're actually sharing best practices with partners that we work with. As you know, FEDOMA is mainly funded by international organizations, and among some of the international organizations that we work with, we have invited a number of them that have come today for this workshop. So we are sharing best practices on disability, inclusive disaster risk reduction. So we are looking at what it involves for persons with disabilities to be included in disaster interventions.
You are targeting those with disabilities. Should we say there was a gap on their involvement?
Yes, actually there is a big gap in that mainstream actors, those that are providing the interventions, sort of forgetting persons with disabilities. Yes, they are being assisted, but not all of them are being assisted. Also, even issues to do with collection of data of persons with disabilities is not happening in other districts that we have visited. So we invited these partners so that we tell them the importance of collecting this data and how we can work with them. As you know, there are over 8,000 currently persons with disabilities that have been displaced, and these people, they need assistance.
Are there specific persons with disabilities that you're targeting, or is it everyone in general?
Actually, our main target are those that are providing services, those that are involved in the intervention. So we are talking about different organizations that are providing services to persons with disabilities or persons or citizens of the country, that they must also be including persons with disabilities.
This is Zodiac. Shortly, we have world news. But now, to sports. Analysts say the collapse of a police stand at Kamuzu Stadium in Blantyre on Saturday should serve as a wake-up call for authorities to start renovating the facility. 4 people were injured when the police stand collapsed during the game between Big Bullets and Fomboni FC, where further hundreds of fans entered the stadium for free just before half-time after breaching the main gate. Kamuzu Stadium, according to the analysts, is also a death trap as people continue using some stand condemned 2 years ago. Mike Bango has the details.
The collapsing of unused police glass house on Saturday, entering of fans in the stadium through the main entrance with force and sitting on top of floodlight towers is an indication of security lapse during football matches at Kamuzu Stadium, according to Nation newspaper's senior sports analyst Gary Chirwa. 4 people were rushed to the hospital on Saturday after the police glass house collapsed with people on top of it. According to Chirwa, it is surprising to see police officers watch spectators use the facility, yet owners say it is in dilapidated form. Some fans are left to climb floodlight towers on D2 stand in the spirit that they entertain people who watch the game, but according to Chirwa, reflects the lapse in security during games. 3 years ago, some stands were cordoned off by the Confederation of African Football through its representative Nicholas Musonye, but it seems some fans still use the stands while authorities just watch. On Saturday, hundreds of supporters entered the stadium through the main gate, raising questions if the gate itself is in good condition, while others blaming it on security. While it is a known fact that most structures in the stadium are in dilapidated form and needs renovation, including the stands, government has just slashed the Ministry of Sports budget, citing the renovation of the Kamuzu Stadium has been put on hold. Meanwhile, Chirwa has appealed to owners of the stadium to assess some of the structures before they are used. Last year, some fans were injured after the roof of the media stand collapsed during the game between Big Bullets and Zomba United in the Casbay Cup final. For ZBS Indirongwe, this is Mike Pango.
Meanwhile, Big Bullets has won the Zambezi Challenge Cup after beating Zimbabwe's Caps United Makepeke 2-1 at Kamuzu Stadium today, Wednesday. Fisher Kondowe scored the first goal to take the host to an early lead before Caps equalized through Malawian Ishmael Tindwa. However, Chukepo Msoya sealed Bullets' victory in added time. Caps United went into the game as defending champions of the Zambezi Challenge. We now turn to international news. Official results from the Saturday's parliamentary snap election in Lesotho show one party has actually secured enough votes to form a government, where the poll was intended to ease tension after an attempted coup last August, while incumbent Prime Minister Thomas Tabane's or Bosoto Convention has won 40 out of the 80 constituencies, with the Democratic Congress taking 37, 2 other parties holding the other 3 constituencies, meaning a coalition must be formed, reports the BBC. You've been watching the news on Zodiac. The top stories once again. Kamuzu College of Nursing students stage violence protests demanding the immediate payment of their alleged unpaid allowances. And barely 3 months after being evicted from plying their businesses along the streets of the capital, Norway, vendors are slowly getting back to the street. Zodiak Snap survey reveals most people are not aware of the newly launched national switch, which allows use of a single ATM card across different banks. In sports, analysts say the recent collapse of a stand underscores the need to renovate Kamuzu Stadium. Well, that's all we had tonight. I am Robert Kalua. Goodbye.